I got to tell you, the Democrats have very vile plans right now that they're openly admitting to and that they're calling for against Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and his followers. In fact, a leading Democrat out there right now is calling for the all-out shutdown of our United States government.
Because your colleague Jeff Merkley basically said he's prepared to try to shut down the government over some of these sledgehammer actions that he's seeing by Elon Musk. Are you prepared to shut down the government, to join Democratic colleagues who want to stand in the way of keeping the government open?
Well, you have to look at what the Trump administration is doing right now. They are simply trying to, they are simply trying to dismantle the government. So yes, look, if we have to take steps to be able to hold them accountable, use the leverage that we have to force it, I cannot support efforts that will continue this lawlessness that we're seeing when it comes to this administration's actions. And for us to be able to support government funding in that way, only for them to turn it around to dismantle the government, that is not something that should be allowed.
So just to be clear, Senator, you are open to voting yes to shut down the government, to make this point.
This is on them. This is about whether or not they can get the votes. They are the majority, and if they cannot govern, then you know, that's for the American people to see. But
Insane, right? Let's shut down the government because I don't like the fact that Donald Trump is firing people and shrinking the government, which, by the way, he has absolute authority to do. What he is doing is not illegal. I don't care what any of the Democrats are out there. He is the executive office. It was never legal to create things like USAID. We didn't vote for that. We didn't vote for the Department of Education. We didn't vote for all of these three-letter agencies that exist all over the place, some of which are becoming money laundering schemes for the Democrat Party like USAID. But that's not all. In fact, there are Democrats out there right now calling for the imprisonment of Elon Musk. I've got a lot to show you. But before I dive in, I've got to give a quick shout out to my sponsor at lisahavengold.com. You see, right now, I want to encourage you to diversify because markets crash all the time and you never know what's going to happen. Just ask NVIDIA investors who lost $600 billion that vanished overnight with no warning and no second chances. In fact, Noble Gold has helped thousands of people diversify their wealth with gold IRAs and physical gold, and that's why I want to encourage you to check them out. Fill out this information, click get my free guide, and they're going to send you that free gold and silver investment guide. And by the way, with any approved plan, they are giving away this beauty, and this is a 5-ounce Silver America, the beautiful coin, and they're giving it away up to 2 of them with any approved plan. So give them a call at the number on the screen. Let them know Lisa Haven sent you so you can take advantage of that special. And by the way, there's always a risk to investing. There's never a guarantee. If you want more information and you're on your cell phone, click that more button or click the link in the description box below. All right. So Democrats are also, on top of the fact that they're calling to shut down the government, they're also calling for the jailing of Elon Musk. And not only that, but they're also calling for, well, Democrats to act out gangster style.
Know who their names are, and I want to see Democratic governors saying, I'm going to do everything I can in my power to use the full faith and to the letter of the law to put you folks in prison. I think what you're doing is trespassing. I think this is a coup. And be clear, just because the new insurrectionist who was elected, I don't believe this is legal. And I'm going to hold the people accountable who are trespassing and part of a coup accountable. To just sit back and say this is horrible and this is unlawful, we need to go gangster here.
So not just Elon Musk, no, you folks. In other words, all of Donald Trump's administration who is doing the job that they were hired to do, which would include Elon Musk and, people within his administration. And then he has the audacity to say, it's trespassing. It's a coup. Excuse me? It's not a coup. The government, the executive office, it is their job. They are in charge of the Treasury and all these 3-letter agencies. They're in charge of them. They created them. They can very well dismantle them. Many of these were created through executive order, and he knows it. He knows it, but he's calling it a coup that isn't, by the way. And then he has the audacity to say, I don't believe it's legal Do you know why he said, I don't believe it's legal? Because it is legal. What Donald Trump is doing from his executive office is 100% legal. And then he caps the whole thing off with he wants them to go gangster on Trump's administration. Seriously? And that would include Trump supporters. What kind of, is he calling for violence? Because when somebody says go gangster, right? Let's just think of your typical gangster movie. I'm thinking guns, the whole 9 yards. Like that's gangster, right? Blood, murder, all of it. Can you please clarify your statement? Because I think that should be turned over, to the police in some way, shape, or form. Go gangster. These people are crazy, and you need to know what is going on. And in fact, the mainstream media out there is trying to twist what Donald Trump is doing. And look, this is what we hired him to do. This is what we voted for him to do. We knew Elon Musk was in there from the beginning. Unlike Kamala Harris, who was never voted by the American people, Elon Musk, while he wasn't voted, he was a part of Trump's administration. And when we voted for Trump, we voted for that. It's the way it works, right? Just like, J.D. Vance. We vote for Trump, we vote for J.D. Vance. It's the way it works. We vote for his entire administration, which he put in. Well, right now, all these mainstream media agencies are out there saying he's being revengeful, he's disrupting the government, all because he is shrinking the government, which needs to happen. And he's calling for an accountability of these finances, right? Take a look. We have the Washington Post. Trump's revenge targets feds, expands his powers, and he's disrupting the government. It's a punch in the gut, says the federal workers. Then we have CNN. Federal employees confused and angered by Trump's offer to quit, which is neutral, by the way. NBC, fear and chaos grip federal workers as Trump rapidly remakes the government. Washington Post, Elon Musk Doge has swept into federal agencies. Here's what to know, and they've rattled the federal workforce. I don't know about you, but I didn't hear any cage rattling from Communist News Network and NBC News and the Washington Post say when you and I lost our jobs, do we get a whole media presence, when our jobs are lost? No, but hey, for these federal, it's like we lose our jobs, we're rattled just the same. It's the way life goes. But if we can't afford these federal workers, and these federal workers are biased, which many have been revealed that is what's happening, and they're defying Donald J. Trump. They're saying, we're not going to do what you said. That's against the law, sweetheart. You're fired. Can't do that. Right? And then they want us to cry for them. Cry me a river. Cry me a river. That's freaking life. Right? Unfortunately, it's happened to pretty much all of us, I would assume, at some point in time. Maybe we got let go. We had to leave our jobs or had health issues or whatever the case may be. There's no sable rattling from the mainstream media network. But if they were really doing their job, this freaking media that's not, they would be investigating federal waste like Elon Musk, and not the people who are finding it. They're going after Elon Musk, the person who is revealing all of the corruption. True media investigates the waste. And that's why Elon Musk always says, we're the media. And why is our mainstream media do that? Because they're bought and paid for. Oh yeah, there was USAID funds going to Politico through subscriptions. And there's money from the government being filed in some way, shape, or form. I don't care how they want to classify it. Oh, it wasn't a direct donation. It was through I don't care. Money still goes to the government, to agencies like New York Times and others. Media through various government agencies and fill in the blank. Whatever way they want to funnel it. And they've been getting all this money for years. And then there's also this, to add a little fuel to the fire. USAID funded massive news platform extending censorship industrial complex to billions worldwide. In fact, it was, in a nutshell, Elon Musk summed it up. He said, USAID pressured advertisers to boycott any media that was not left wing. Imagine your tax-paying dollars to fund that. USAID doing that. Oh, Lisa Haven is not left wing, so I'm going to go after her advertisers and tell them not to fund Lisa Haven. That's what happened to Elon Musk. And USAID money was going to that through a non-government shady organization known as Internews Network. In fact, WikiLeaks put out a whole thing on it. I encourage you to go there and check it out. And by the way, it was so corrupt that it looks like they abandoned their agency there in California. You could see that the place is just gone. And it's that IN, the Internews Network. They knew what they were doing was corrupt and against the law. Oh, let's dismantle it, burn the evidence. This is what they're happening. That's why Democrats are fleeing like crazy, right? And that's what else is going on right now. I would say a coup from the Democrats against Donald J. Trump, if you're going to call the other a coup, right? Because right now there's judges trying to block Donald Trump for being the executor, for being the president, literally. And I talked about this before, but I want to expand because a lot has happened. We have Zero Hedge. Obama-appointed judge blocked Donald Trump's administration from access to sensitive treasure records, cites cybersecurity risk. So what happened is they went in and said, hey, you can't access the information. And what this judge literally did, he said, okay, let me put it this way. This judge said, I forbid all of Donald Trump's political appointees, including, right, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, from accessing the Treasury Department data. So the head of the entire department can't access the information? That would be like, I'm the head of the Lisa Haven department. Well, I can't access any of my financial information or any of my information. So there you go. Well, how I'm the owner. I'm the one in charge. That's against the law. And that is what this judge has done. In fact, J.D. Vance put this out on it. And I think this is a very powerful point here. If a judge tried to tell a general how to conduct a military operation, that would be illegal. If a judge tried to command the attorney general in how to use her discretion as a prosecutor, that's illegal. Judges are not allowed to control the executive's legitimate power. And these Democrats fished around rather than, they're supposed to do it through some kind of judge pool or whatever. No, they fished around and found an Obama-era judge willing to do it. They went forward with this illegal coup. Right? This judge should be immediately impeached. Immediately. There should be no question. What pisses me off is why the hell is Congress not impeaching this judge right now? He shouldn't be there. If you're going to literally go against the president of the United States and say you can't be a president, Lucy, we have a problem. These people will stop at nothing. And as you can see, they're already calling for our jailing, asking for violent measures like gangster style. There are some pretty crazy times in which we are living, folks. But, at least we have a mouth and a voice, because here's the thing. If Donald Trump didn't get elected, your media sources would be gone. You would have never found out about this corruption. And I guarantee you that it would be impossible for another Donald Trump to ever rise, because they would solidify all these departments in their favor and solidify all their corruptions. They didn't expect Donald Trump to go in and do what he's doing to the full level that he's doing. And they are terrified that all of their crimes are getting exposed. And there's still idiots out there. I'm sorry. I have this no friend of mine anymore on Facebook, young lady friend of mine, Christian, right? Big into ministry and the whole 9 yards. She gets on her Facebook page and, oh, I'm so crap. USAID isn't sending funding to so-and-so missionary right now. And I'm like, A, isn't the church supposed to be funding that? B, if the government through USAID is sending, then they're beholden to government. Just thinking, out loud here. And third, why are you supporting an organization that is literally a funneling scam for the Democrat Party? Going to non-government organizations like this IN, the interim news agency that has just been exposed, right? The Internews Network, where money was going to, push for advertisers to ban conservative media, to not advertise with conservative media. Nope, they can only advertise with left-wing people. This is a bias, a pure bias. Not to mention all the stuff that they were funding that had nothing to do with like condoms and LGBTQ initiatives. We don't have the money to fund that. Why are we even in that, right? or whatever. I don't care what kind of sexual thing they're funding. If it's straight or not straight, we don't need to be funding that. And my little friend, ex-friend over there is like, oh, but. And I'm like, okay, so you support all of this? Not one word after that, right? Not one word. It's people like that who are ignorant, that have no idea what's going on, that we need to start waking up. And little passion there, I'm sorry. But anyway, if you really want to educate your friends, show them the channel. Show them my channel. If not my channel, show them somebody's, right? Or better yet, buy them access to Restricted Republic. Speaking of, I want to encourage you guys to go to restrictedrepublic.com, check it out, use the coupon code Lisa and the number 5. You're going to get it for $5 per month. This is a great plan. You get inside information. Like I said, we are very limited on YouTube. You can read between the lines there, but restrictedrepublic.com is where we post all our exclusive content. Use the coupon code Lisa and the number 5 to check it out. But hey, we got to start getting involved. We got to start getting people to really know what's going on. Otherwise, we could very well lose our country, because again, freedom isn't free. It's just not free. It's not something we can take advantage of. It's something that has to be worked at. Anyhow, I love you all. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.